I want to share a story about how power struggles often enter family relationships quietly, usually without parents realizing that's what's happening. See, in this situation I was dealing with, the parents were dealing with repeated conflict around expectations. Appointments, responsibilities, follow through. Every conversation seemed to turn into an argument. Both sides felt unheard. And what parents were really worried about was safety and direction. They were afraid that if they didn't stay firm, nothing would change and that their child would drift, further off course. They felt this growing sense of urgency. And because of that fear, what they were doing, which made sense, was tightening control. See, they set ultimatums, drew hard lines, and tried to use consequences to force movement. From their point of view, firmness felt responsible. Now, what I invited them to consider instead was stepping out of this power struggle entirely. See, the shift wasn't towards giving in. That's not what that's about. It was towards stopping the effort to win the interaction. And that mattered because power struggles harden positions. You've seen that before, and I know you realize that, but we sometimes don't realize it when it's happening to us. Once both sides are trying to win, listening stops. Even reasonable expectations begin to feel like threats when they're delivered inside a struggle for control. Now, nothing was resolved right away. The same issues were still there, but the intensity dropped. Conversations became shorter, arguments ended sooner, and the parents no longer felt pulled into constant confrontation. Now, if we step back and think about this, what this story illustrates is that power struggles aren't about strength or weakness. They're about fear meeting resistance. And that's important to note. They're about fear. And when parents stop fighting for control, they often regain influence. So if you're caught in something like this, I want you to know that stepping out of a power struggle doesn't mean you're giving up authority. It often means you're choosing a form of leadership that makes space for change.